how should we approach difficult conversations with people who don't want to have them? And I'm pretty sure, this is personal and professional. Like if you're with your boo and they're tired of maybe having the same conversation over again, but there hasn't been like a resolution. So someone feels like they need to continue to bring it up. It's like, I know I don't want to have this conversation anymore. Like, let's nip it. We're done. And then in a professional setting, right? I remember when I was working in corporate, there was this one chick, she would get under my skin. Under my skin, okay? Because I just felt like she was always out for me. Like she was always out for me, and I also felt like she was fake as shit. And that really boils me because it's like, just tell me what it is. Like, stop with the passive aggressiveness. It drives me crazy. And I remember trying to have conversations with her, and where I thought we had come to like a solution and we got it, we're good, we're on the same page. Then I would hear through the grapevine that she's still talking shit. And I'm like, this is like so annoying. And it was so difficult to come to an understanding with her. And that relationship like kind of fizzled out because it was like, all right, I can't. I don't want to do it anymore. So how do you approach those type of situations, understanding as a communications expert how significant communication is? Like, how do you approach that when people don't want to have the conversation with you?
Yeah. Okay. So you just triggered a memory in my mind. So I'm going to give an example. Let's go work first.
Okay.
So there was a situation where there was a woman, and I don't know if she felt threatened by me or something, but something was going on in the background, and I didn't know what it was because I'm like, sometimes I'm oblivious. I'm like, everybody's great and everybody loves everybody, and I live in La La Land. So, but I remember one incident but you could feel it when something's off. Something's off. So I felt
that woman's intuition.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't ignore that.
So I felt something was off, but I said, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And then I heard, I forgot what I heard. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to address this. So I pulled her into an office and I said, hey, and I really don't remember the situation, but I remember asking her point blank. I understand, and I heard that X, Y, and Z. You said X, Y, and Z. And she says, no, I didn't say that. I said, well, I don't know if you did or not, but this is what I do know. When we were together in this situation, I felt like something was off. So when I tell you that just raw, this is exactly what happened, this is exactly how I felt, tell me if I'm off. Because I know I had that feeling for a reason. I've never had that feeling before with you. There's something off. And I want to make sure that we put it on the table now because I don't want this to continue. So it really starts with your intention. I think we have to understand what our intention is first. And so I'll say this, in the very beginning, I remember having a conversation and it went left. And I asked myself, well, what was my intention? And my intention is I wanted to make that person feel bad for what they did. The conversation's never going to go the way you want it. So I think we have to be honest with ourselves first. What's your intention? You want to make them feel guilty? You want to make them feel bad? You want to manipulate? Let's be honest. We've all been there before. But those conversations are not going to go the way you want it. They're going to give you the BS answer so that the conversation can stop. Or who knows how the conversation is going to go. But when I started understanding, okay, well, what's my intention? In this case, my intention was I want her to know that I know. And I want her to know this is not going to happen this way anymore. I want us to have open and honest dialogue. You have a problem with me? Come to me. Let's have a conversation. Like, none of this is a big deal. Right? And so really, that was my goal with her. I'm going to let you know. I know what happened. I know something is off. Let's have a conversation about it. And the next time you have an issue, instead of going to somebody else, come to me, babe. Let's have a conversation. We're both grown adults here. And our relationship did get better after that. Much better. So my goal is always, like, we don't have to be friends, right? We're working. We just have to have respect for each other. And so I'm not the type of, I don't engage in gossip. I'm not going to gossip about you. I want us to just have a nice working relationship. So come to me if there's an issue and we can talk about it. But that also takes me being open and me not being triggered. And listen, I don't remember what you said about me, but I remember thinking, is this girl crazy? Right? But I mean, that was like a hot second. But, before I may have been triggered, like, why would you say that about me? Why this? Why that? And it's like, who cares and who knows? Let's just work together.
Okay, so it sounds like that's a strategy, right? That's a play for you to check yourself and understand what your intention is, because the likelihood of that conversation being successful is greater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the strategy in the play is always to check yourself first. That's always the strategy in the play, to understand where you are coming from first, because you're the only person you can control. And when you can say, okay, you know, I'm not going to get emotional. People get offended. Like, we get offended, right? Our little feelings get hurt. And then we want to be mad and we want to complain and we want to criticize and we want to compare. That none of that is helpful. None of it is helpful.
Okay. So we check ourselves, right? Yeah. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Hello.
Oldie but a goodie. If you know, you know. Okay. But what happens if a person is still not open to having a conversation? Okay. Like, they're just not receptive.
Well, I think in a workplace, typically, you know, they're going to play nice, right? They're going to play nice. And I think you have to just not care about everybody liking you and not wanting to be friends with everybody.
That part.
It's okay. You're not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. It's fine. Like, everybody's not going to like you. And by the way, for example, I had somebody unfollow me that I know. Right?
And not the unfollow. The audacity. Isn't it crazy that, like, now it's like that is the ultimate, like,
I was supporting you.
You're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Apparently I was dead to her. But I'll say this. I will say this. I'm not going to lie. My little feelings were hurt for a second. Because I was like, what did I do to her? Like, I didn't do anything to her.
Right.
But I say this. If I trigger you, unfollow me, babe. Like, unfollow me. And I know I didn't do anything wrong, but if I trigger you for whatever reason, I'm okay with it. And I wish you well, and I'm going to wish you well from afar. You know, and I actually did run into her, and we were very nice and cordial, and it was fine. But
did you ask her?
No, because I don't care. Because you know, what her reasons are her reasons, and she's entitled to them. So no, I didn't ask her, and I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to make her feel like she did anything wrong, because she didn't. She didn't do anything wrong. She's completely entitled to unfollow me. She's entitled to feel however she wants to feel. The day she wants to address it with me, whatever her issue is, because I have zero clue, I'll be more than happy to address it or have a conversation with her and maybe be friends with her again. I don't know exactly what happened, but I am completely okay with that.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
The growth,
honey, the growth, darling.
But let's talk about a personal relationship.
Okay, let's get into that.
Let's talk about a personal relationship, because I had one where I continued to say, listen, if we don't address this, it's going to get worse. And they ignored me. And I said, I want you to know. I stopped and looked you right in the eye. I look you right in the eye. I want you to know this is going to become a problem if we do not address it. They let it go. It became a problem. It became a problem. And by me saying it became a problem is, this happens for me, and I think for everybody, it happens like this, right? Okay, there's a problem. Now we're getting a little further. We're getting a little further. And little by little, you start chipping away at the cracks in the relationship. And we can think any relationship, pick family, pick a lover, pick whoever. It starts with one little crack. And if you continue to allow that to happen, it gets bigger and bigger.
Right.
And for me, I decide to detach. And then when you want to bring it back, now I'm pissed, because the way I see it is this. If I have to continue to reel you in and say, hey, we need to address this. Hey, we need to address this. It's too much effort and energy for me. At this point in my life, my relationships are easy. Every single relationship I have in my life is easy. My girlfriends, my parents, my kids, like every relationship in my life is easy, because I want to address the issue. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how I'm solution based. I don't care what happened before. Solution. How do we move forward? But if I have to continue addressing the same issue, I'm exhausted. I'm done. My cutoff game, babe. My cutoff game.
I think this happens a lot in relationships, right? Because if your partner is not a good communicator or is not comfortable communicating, you're going to constantly run into those walls with each other. So I wonder, how can people, I don't know, I guess it boils down to people got to want it. right? You
have to want it. But listen, in a marriage, I think that's a completely different scenario and situation, right? I think in a marriage, it takes two. And I'm around people that have long-term 20-year marriages, and it's work, right? And communication is, a keystone of every relationship. And so one person, yes, you both have to want it, but I think one person can fix it. In what I've seen, because when you start changing you, and when you start giving someone else what you're looking for, so you're looking for more love, give the person more love. You're looking for more appreciation, give the person more appreciation. Naturally, people start coming around. That relationship does start to change, and I've seen it actually even in myself, in my relationship, even with my kids. Like I remember when I first started working on myself. I remember asking them. I asked them, what could I do better? And they were so used to me telling them what to do, they automatically started saying, well, we could do this better, we could do this better. I said, no. I'm asking what I could do better. And they were like, oh, well, at that point I had already started like working out and stuff, and they swear that me working out made me calmer, which it did. I was less crazy. So they were like, well, you've been a lot better lately, whatever. But it made them start thinking, and guess what? It made our relationship better, because now they're like, oh, she's working on her. It's not only about what we're doing wrong. She also knows she has to work on herself. So it's like little things like that. I do feel one person can help move that relationship forward, but it takes a lot of work and effort and energy on your part, because when you realize you're the problem, you can also be the solution.